And you should be live in a sec here.
I was like, that was a long one there, Sleepy Josh.
My computer's being
What's
slow.
up, everybody? Welcome back to Bitch with Comrade Misty. I am Comrade Misty. There's a lot to bitch about. I'm pretty excited about it. Not really, but kind of, because I'm excited to get it off my chest. Because y'all, it's been a week. It has been a week. And Sleepy Josh has been kind of missing in action this week. He's been really busy. So he's going to learn some things today. So yeah, I honestly don't even know where to start, but I think I'm going to start with Daniel Hale because it pisses me off the most. So if you don't know who Daniel Hale is, he is a whistleblower who leaked evidence of the drone program, which is a big fucking deal, right? And he just recently pled guilty, and his sentencing was supposed to be June 13th, I want to say. But apparently he has been arrested and put in jail, and he's, I guess, going to stay there until his sentencing hearing, which is fucked up. So I have an article actually from Kevin Gostola. Where am I here? Oops. Oh, come on, computer. I don't know why my computer is fucked up. Here we go. Okay, so is that up there, Sleepy?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Sorry, guys. I suck at technology. So you're going to have to be patient with me. Okay, so this is Daniel Hale. And this is an article by Kevin Gostola, who I'm sure you guys already know is an amazing investigative journalist who focuses mostly, I would say, on whistleblowers and, you know, stuff like that. He's real heavy into Assange. He's probably one of the best on Assange. So yeah, Daniel Hale was arrested. I'm not going to go through this whole thing with you because it is, you know, kind of long, and I don't think we need to hear me read. But this is the part that I thought was pretty funny. According to Jesselyn Raddick, the head of the whistleblower and source protection program, Whisper, at Exposed Facts, who has publicly represented Hale, said, quote, because of concerns about whistleblower Daniel Hale's mental health, he was taken into custody and is in solitary. Somebody please explain to me why the fuck it's a good idea to put somebody who has mental health issues in solitary confinement. Because I don't understand that. And that's fucking bullshit. So yeah, you know, we need to make noise about this. I've been trying to tweet about it. I've been trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It just happened yesterday, I guess, apparently. So yeah, another whistleblower is being targeted for telling the truth and exposing horrific crimes. I mean, this is the drone program. Lots of innocent people were killed, and that's the guy that's getting punished. Once again, the only person getting punished for telling the truth is the truth teller. You know, I have that thread on Twitter. I'm sure some of you saw it, but the wrong man is in prison, and it's different. It's Julian Assange's picture next to George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, because the wrong man's in prison. And it's really weird to me that that's like a thing in society that we accept. You know, like George W. Bush gets to go on Ellen and, you know, dance and pass candy and paint weird pictures and whatever the fuck else he does. And Julian Assange is in prison and is supermax. He's a publisher. He's an intellectual. He has absolutely no violent history, no history of violence at all whatsoever, and they're keeping him in jail. Daniel Hale is a truth teller who exposed unbelievable crimes. Barack Obama is, you know, Sir Drones a lot, and the wrong dude's in jail. And I don't know why it's okay for Barack Obama to drone people, but Daniel Hale can't expose that. It's so fucking flip-flopped, you guys. It's the upside down. It really is. Why is humanity like that? It's so frustrating to me that that's what like reasonable adults think is a thing to do. Isn't it weird? It's like we teach our kids growing up to like naughty, like don't hit, don't bite, be polite, use your words, right? How many times have we heard a parent say, use your words? I don't know. Maybe that's just my mom. My mom used to say that all the time. Use your words. Don't hit, use your words. Well, but the people who like lead society think that we solve problems by droning people. That's not reasonable. That's ridiculous. That's like a bunch of like little infants throwing a tantrum, like the most epic tantrum of all time, and killing people so that they can feel better and that they can be powerful. It's fucking weird. Those dudes need better mothers, I think. Maybe it's just genetic. Who knows? Psychopathy is probably genetic, I would think, right? Okay, so let's see. Hi, Corey. Oh, Dingo. Hey, Dingo. Hey, Matt. I think oh, hey, vegan. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you guys have things you want to, I'm not demonetized. I've never monetized, and I probably won't, to be honest. My other show's not monetized. I probably won't. I'd like to fly under the radar for as long as possible, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So support Daniel Hale is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, that was kind of a long rant. But yeah, support Daniel Hale, raise awareness about it, because I don't think a lot of people know about Daniel Hale, to be honest. I mean, most people have heard Julian Assange's name. Most people know who Chelsea Manning is, Edward Snowden. But right now we have a whistleblower going through it. And his name's Daniel Hale, and we need to try to support him. David McBride as well. That's another one that's going on right now. I'm probably forgetting people because I didn't intend to like list them all off, but yeah, there's some. Oh, Craig Murray, not really a whistleblower case, but definitely still needs our support. Actually, that's another thing I was going to bitch about was what's happening to Craig Murray. That was a really good transition, you guys. Look at that. Yo, it wasn't on purpose though, so let's not pretend that it was. Okay, so Craig Murray, he's going through it too, and it's dumb as fuck. Dude's a journalist, a really great journalist. Not only a journalist, he's also a former whistleblower. He was the ambassador to Uzbekistan, which for some reason I have a hard time saying that, but I don't know why my mouth won't make that word. So yeah, but he was a whistleblower because he saw a lot of really terrible things happening there, and he spoke up about it and gave up his career among the elites and became a journalist and a writer and an activist and an all-around stellar dude. But he was covering a case in the UK, and I forget what it's called. Oh, Sleepy, what's the word? Oh, wait. Jigsaw Identification.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I knew I was going to forget what it was called. For some reason, that's not even close to what I was thinking in my head. Okay, so he was covering a case in the UK, and he got in trouble for what's called Jigsaw Identification. So basically what that means is through his reporting, he revealed enough details about a witness that they were then able to be identified, if that makes sense. And that's not okay there. And so he got in trouble, and he actually is going on Friday for his sentencing. And it's a big deal because he's facing, I think, like 2 years in jail. He has a 2-month-old baby at home. So he shouldn't be going to jail for this, in my opinion. You can disagree, you're wrong. So he shouldn't be going to jail for this. And he is the kind of guy who covered the Assange case, and he's not somebody that ever asks for help, complains. He's always speaking of others. Like when he talks to people, it's always about Julian Assange. It's never about what he's going through personally. And he's been going through some shit for a while now with this court case. But he never asked for help. And so when he does ask for help, it's because he does genuinely need it. And so he put out an article yesterday, an appeal for defense funds. So if you guys are able to donate to Craig Murray, please do so, because he really does deserve your help. He's an excellent journalist, and we have to take care of our truth tellers, and he's one of them. And so donate to him, David McBride, Daniel Hale, if he needs help. All of these people, I know that everybody's like kind of strapped, but like if everybody does like $5 here and there, just whenever you can. And if you can't, that's fine too. Share all their links, because these are two people who are right now from different aspects of it. I mean, Daniel Hale's a whistleblower and Craig Murray is a former whistleblower, but now he's a journalist that's being persecuted. And it's the same bullshit with Julian Assange. It's why we fight so hard, because this is all them chipping away at our First Amendment right. And they've been systematically destroying it for a really long time. And to be honest with you, we've been handing it over. We're not paying attention at all. Well, most people are not paying attention at all. And this has been going on for a long time, but over the past like 10 years, it has really ramped up, you guys. And it's getting really fucking intense at this point. Like, look at all the anti-protest laws that we have across the country. I think there's anti-protest laws in like 34 different states right now. I have 4 in Ohio. There's 12 in Oklahoma. I don't know what the hell's going on in Oklahoma, but it's ridiculous. The attacks look at all the anti-BDS bills that they've been trying to push through. None of that is good. That's a really bad thing. And the fact that they took Donald Trump off of social, like they erased him from the internet. Pinterest, like he was the president. And listen, don't come for me. I don't fucking like Donald Trump, but dude was the fucking president and they completely deplatformed him from life. Like completely. That should not be allowed. And I don't want to hear your private company bullshit either. These companies make massive donations to politicians. They own your government. They are not private companies. They are intertwined 100%. I don't give a shit the technicalities of it, because once you are that heavily involved in politics, Jesus Christ, Facebook works with what's it called, the Atlantic Council? Are you kidding me? Henry Kissinger sits on that board. I mean, no, you don't get to interact with those people in our government and then still pretend to be a private company. We can't allow that anymore. They have way too much influence over what happens in our country. And and they took the president down. You guys, they're going to wipe all of us off of social media eventually. They want full control over the narrative, 100%. And it's not, do you really want these psychopaths to have the ability to dictate what you're allowed to see, read, hear, listen to, talk about, know, observe? It's not good. And people will say, oh, come on, it's not going to get, yes, it is going to get that bad. It is absolutely, it's getting that bad now. It's crazy. Did you ever think that we would see the rash of anti-protest laws in this country? I mean, I kind of did, but it's so counter to what we claim to stand for. And people are not only like handing over those rights, but like applauding the people they're giving. Oh, thank you for taking away my freedom, my ability to know things. I don't want those people to have like complete secrecy and the ability to do whatever they want because we have no idea what they're doing. No way. Do you guys really want those like Donald Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney or Barack Obama? These are psychopaths. I don't want them to have that kind of power and control and just complete anonymity and the ability to do everything in the dark. That's terrifying. We should be fighting against that hard as fuck. I don't know why we're not. Somebody explain it to me. I don't get it. So yeah, anyway, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but definitely if you can donate to Craig Murray, Daniel Hale, David McBride, anybody, any of them, if you can, because they're up against empire, really. Well, we all kind of are, because what they do to them, they'll do to us. They already are doing to some of us. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything you want to bitch about? Oh, Alex! Sleepy Alex is in the chat. And Steve.
Hi, Alex and Steve.
I'm kind of rambly today. Steve, you should jump on, dude. Or Alex. Alex, jump on. Sleepy can send you the link. And yeah, Steve, my interwebs are cursed. I don't even know what to say about it. I have the worst internet I mean, I can't say the worst, but I have like pretty close to the worst, I think. I'm pretty sure. And it's pisses me off because like if I was just a little bit down this street or just a little bit down this street, I'd be fine. But because of where I live, they don't. My husband spends a lot of time talking to internet companies, actually, internet providers, because I can't. I get really pissy, and I don't mean to, and I don't want to yell at people when it's not their fault. But oh, it's so frustrating. I just get really annoyed. It's not good. I guess I could put this in. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Steve's gonna jump on it if you.
Huh?
I think Steve's gonna jump on it if you'll send him the link.
He's got a pretty up, he says. My expectations are set, Steve. I expect pretty. Come pretty, bitches. Look at me. I'm in my A for A t-shirt and some sweatpants. I'm so fancy. Oh. And this is like actually, I have makeup on, so it's like way better than normal. I don't like doing that stuff. All right, so let's bitch while we wait for Steve. Oh, okay. No, I don't know which one I want to talk about first. Let's talk about World Press Freedom Day, because we're talking about whistleblowers, and so that kind of makes sense. Because World Press Freedom Day was just a lot of people are full of shit on World Press Freedom Day, and it really makes me angry. The level of propaganda bullshit, and it's like you can tell that they know that they're full of shit, but they're going to tweet it anyway. It's like Anthony Blinken tweeted out some shit. Hold on, I think I have a screenshot. Oh, where is it? Yeah, here it is. Okay, hold on, I'm so bad at this. I got to learn how to do computer shit, fams. All right. Let's see. Nope, not that one. Nope. Where is it? Oh no, hold on. I'm so bad at this. Oh, I can't get it up there. Hold on. So annoying. But Anthony Blinken, I keep calling him Anthony, and I think it's Anthony, right? Maybe. But him and Kamala Harris posted some shit about World Press Freedom Day and about how we take press freedom seriously in the United States. And oh, and they passed new legislation too. I definitely have to show you guys that. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, Ed Snowden even went after Kamala Harris. That was funny. Not really went after her. He's too nice for that. I wish he'd be a dick, maybe. What else do you guys have? What?
I gotta go fix Steve's camera real quick.
Okay. All right. So let's see. The absolute hypocrisy of the West on World Press Freedom Day was kind of astonishing. I mean, Australian officials were tweeting about it. U.S. officials were tweeting about it. UK officials were tweeting about it. These are the same people who are currently torturing a journalist for journalism. So how they think that they get to complain then about or to pretend like they support journalists and press freedom. It's so annoying. And they get away with it. They get away with it. And it's amazing. I wish people would pay attention to this stuff. I'm really tired today too, you guys. It's been a week. It's been a really crazy week. Oh yeah, RT did a segment on mainstream media. Nobody in mainstream media, not a single progressive, y'all, even mentioned World Press Freedom Day. Not one time. Not one time. Like, they didn't even like do a platitude tweet where they didn't mention Assange. Maybe because they knew that would probably be worse for them. Like, if they gave some bullshit, some like, ridiculous, what would this mean to you and your family kind of a tweet. Which that's another thing I want to bitch about too. Those tweets are so annoying. What would being able to breathe mean to you and your family? What would being able to eat food, what would that mean to you and your family? It's amazing. Let's see. Here's the Biden statement. Such a load of horse shit. Really, it's such a load of horse shit. Here, you guys should check this out for sure. Okay, so this is the statement by President Joe Biden on the occasion of World Press Freedom Day. And it says, 30 years ago today, in the face of constant pressure and violence, African journalists came together to issue the Windhoek Declaration, which asserted that the establishment, maintenance, and fostering of an independent, pluralistic, and free press is essential to the development and maintenance of democracy in a nation for economic development. Then as now, we celebrate the courage of truth tellers who refuse to be intimidated, often at great personal risk, and we affirm the timeless and essential role journalism and a free media play in societies everywhere. That's like so much bullshit in one paragraph. I almost can't even stand it. That's ridiculous. Do you see what's happening to journalists right now at protests? They're getting maced and beaten and arrested, detained, photographed. They're keeping, like, the one, forget where it was, they told them that they were now going to be tracking them on an app. Like, what the fuck is happening? Journalists uncover the truth, check the abuse of power, and demand transparency from those in power. They are indispensable to the functioning of democracy. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, journalists and media workers have been on the front lines to keep the public informed at significant risk to their own health and at a time when the truth is increasingly under attack. Our need for accurate, fact-based reporting, open public conversation, and accountability has never been greater. Oh, it's just oozing, you guys. It's oozing. It's so dumb. It is incumbent on all of us to counter these threats to a free and independent media, including physical risk and arbitrary detention. That's ballsy. I mean, to say that, really? Oh, the Committee to Protect Journalists found that in 2020, a record number of journalists were imprisoned globally. Online abuse and harassment of journalists, particularly women and journalists of color, continues to increase. Authoritarians are striving to undermine the free press, manipulate the truth, or spread disinformation, even as a shrinking news industry is creating more and more news deserts, areas without local media around the world. These attacks are nothing less than a threat to democracies everywhere. Today on World Press Freedom Day, we celebrate the fierce bravery of journalists everywhere. We recognize the integral role of a free press plays in building prosperous, resilient, and free societies, and we recommit to protecting and promoting free, independent, and diverse media around the world. I mean, I don't even know how. Whoever wrote that obviously has never met Joe Biden. Like, that's never been who Joe Biden is. He's no fan of. He's no like friend to the media. He never has been. Dude's an epic douche canoe. And not only is he a douche canoe, he's a completely bought douche canoe. That dude doesn't have any independent thinking whatsoever. He does what he's told. Most establishment politicians, that is how they operate. They think that they have thoughts, but really they don't. They accept a check, and with that check, they accept their opinion. And it's told to them, they regurgitate it because they know that that's where they get their check. And, you know... So he's a completely bought off slime ball, and he doesn't want people to be able to expose that. So of course he's not going to support free media. Of course not. And any of them telling like those, but honestly, I don't know if that is, if those, I don't even think that that's the worst, because I honestly think that the progressives and the Democrats and those people, I think that their silence is far more offensive than some platitude from somebody that I know I'm getting like, at least I know what's up. But like a Bernie Sanders not saying anything on World Press Freedom Day and never in the past 2 years mentioning Assange by name, not one time. And the one time that somebody did ask, he essentially ran away. That's who you call progressive? No, that ain't it. Can somebody tell me, maybe in the chat, when did the left become authoritarian? When did that happen? Did I miss that? Was I like not at that meeting? Because the left the left, they say that they're left. I think what happened, honestly, I think Bernie Sanders convinced a lot of people that they were left when they're not actually left. Like, does that make sense? Because he presented himself as a leftist, sort of. I mean, he said democratic socialist for the most part, but the use of the word socialist, I think, made people think that they were a lot lefter than they actually are. I think there are a lot of hipster liberals who think that they're left, but they're like really just in training wheels. Like they don't, you know what I'm saying? And Steve Poikonen, welcome, my friend.
I came in a hipster leftist.
Yes. Well, we were talking about the silence of the quote unquote left and how none of them mentioned World Press Freedom Day. Bernie Sanders has never said Assange by name. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has concerns. That whole attitude. And when did the quote unquote, I have a theory, but when did the quote unquote left become authoritarian? Because that's what it seems like has happened. And my theory was that Bernie Sanders convinced a lot of people that they're lefter than they are. Like he presented himself in a way that made a lot of people who are really just kind of like centrists, like hipster liberals is what I call them.
Oh, you mean like liberals who want healthcare?
Yes, DSA people.
Someone used to say that a few months back. I
did used to say that, but I don't even know if they're that now because they don't even want healthcare. Like they didn't want to fight for healthcare at all. Like they were offended. They were offended that we would fucking try to fight for healthcare. That's amazing. That's what I'm saying. What the fuck is that?
I was thinking about that. I was, it was a month or 4 months ago, almost today. When we were in DC and we had our events and the Force the Vote thing was going on simultaneously, and there were people who were lining up thousands of miles away and thousands of miles apart, but lining up digitally to attack everyone who was involved in both the Force the Vote thing and what we were doing. And it amazes me that people will dedicate time and energy and resources into going after individual fucking activists who have no money or power of our own.
Come on, I'm Mindy Moneybags. Don't lie. Don't front.
Okay, well
Mindy Moneybags.
You do, but Mindy Moneybags gets them nails did like every 3 days, and you got the freaking little diamonds stuck on them here and there, Ruby Savage, shit like that, dude, and like that really doesn't trickle down. So outside of the realm of Mindy Moneybags, most of us are just like broke dick, self-hating fucking like morons that fucking are willing to sacrifice their own time to try and like
do something,
spread some awareness and make things better for people we've never met,
right?
But including the people that are coming after us and spending their time, energy, and resources attacking us.
I want those people to you know what? I want them to have their ability to smear me on Twitter. They have that right. I don't like them, but they have that right. And I would never, ever, ever try to take that away from them. Ever. I don't like them, but I'm fighting for their rights too.
Yeah,
and
the
it's
worst
sad
I'm
that they
going
don't
to do is mute you.
Huh?
The worst I'm going to do is mute that person.
I've blocked a few people recently.
Yeah, I do it occasionally, but like but
usually it has to be pretty bad for me to block somebody. Like I have to be really just done. Like there's people that have been smearing me for years that I just recently blocked. I ignored them for the longest time. But yeah, I just don't know when the left got so fucking when did it become cool on the left to be authoritarian as fuck?
Well, it
When
comes
did
and
that
goes
become
in
cool?
waves. It does. And if you, I don't know if you remember or not, you are younger. You are.
Not by
But
much.
when Bill Clinton was running for president the first time, and even 4 years prior, like there were all kinds of things that you couldn't talk about. You really couldn't talk about the fact that the Democrats were just as silent on AIDS as the Republicans were for a very, very, very long time. You couldn't talk about like Bill Clinton's obvious connections to the CIA bringing cocaine into the country. And like, granted, some of this is stuff that people found out about just a couple of years into Clinton's first term, but there had been rumors, especially in like black and brown neighborhoods, major cities and shit like that, for almost a decade at that point, you know. There were Democrats that were so closely connected to what happened in Iran-Contra that they couldn't make political hay out of it, you know, and those became things that you couldn't talk about. There's always shit that it's amazing right now, you know. For 4 or 5 years it had been Russiagate. That's what they were, you know, and so you couldn't talk about the fact that Russiagate was a conspiracy theory without yourself being called a conspiracy theorist, which is cute, you know. But it'll move on.
Conspiracy theorists a lot.
There's the thing that people forget is that the left celebration of free speech is largely down to 1960s era protests and the anti-war movement. And you like when you pull back from that a little bit, a lot of it was fucking like I don't know, controlled opposition. The genuine anti-war fervor, and those people like the Yippies and shit like that, Black Panthers, all those kinds of organizations, outliers, complete and total outliers. And one of my broadcast heroes, a gentleman who was called Travis T. Hip. Travis was in the Navy in the 50s, was on a submarine outside of Korea, turned that into a college education at UC Berkeley, and was like the forerunning generation to the real protest movement. And he said, he would always say that like after 1965, there was a concerted effort by every administration going forward to ensure that never again would there be a young population that was as educated and as aware and as willing and able to organize as the collegiate classes of 1955 to 1965. And when you really think about it, people who have fought for free speech have always been outliers. Like, we've never really been popular because there have always, who are the people that fight for free speech, Mindy? It's the people who are pushing back against the prevailing narratives.
Yes.
I mean, Malcolm X, you could call him a civil liberties guy. You know, you could. You could.
I'm kind of a civil liberties guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
and
you see how he was dealt. Like I mean, Fred Hampton, very, very, very much pushed the limits of political speech at the time.
Yeah.
Dealt with the way an empire deals with those who stick their neck out a little bit too far. So I want to say, like I want to be like, yes, there's always been this, you know, like massive popular contingent on the left that led with free speech. And I'm starting to think that maybe Like
I guess it's just like this romanticized ideal
falling into the
have.
marketing a little bit, because
a little
I
bit.
really, the people who are stalwart defenders of free speech fall along that libertarian axis, whether it's right or left. The more right you get, the more like ANCAP weird you get. The more left you get, the more anarchist you get. And let's be honest, man, we're not real popular with anyone.
That's true.
Like,
that's very true.
You get, and
That's
when
very
you
true.
when you get an actual genuine anti-authoritarian, be we right, left, or whatever the fuck it is, in
not
this
popular.
space,
Yeah.
people are like, oh, hey, wait, no, hang on. Like,
people really
we're
see
not-
that as extreme, and
yeah,
it's
that's a
very
little
weird.
bit too much independence there, buddy. We need to like reel it in a little bit. No. And I mean, am I wrong though?
No.
It's fucking so fascinating to me. And I have these conversations with people who consider themselves like, left leaning or right leaning, or more libertarian, but just on that libertarian axis, be it right or left, anti-authoritarian, and they all have the same fucking story. I can talk to someone I'm supposed to hate who is a legitimate anti-authoritarian.
Yeah.
Way the fuck easier than I can talk to fucking, Johnny Bowtie, or fucking, some button down fucking conservative or liberal or fucking communist any day of the week.
Yeah.
And the communists hate me right now.
Just right now?
Well, more so than usual.
Okay. Because I generally I think I get along best with communists. Most of the time. I never get along with liberals, ever. Liberals do not like me at all. I mean, I don't really like liberals either, but liberals do not like me. Conservatives, even if they don't like me, most of the time, they're at least appreciative that I just stand where I stand. You know what I'm saying? I get that a lot. But I haven't really, I mean, I don't deal with a lot of like extreme right people. So I don't know like if I could, what that situation would be like. But I mean, I'm surrounded by like conservative Trump voters. I live in small town Ohio. So that's who's the kids that my kids go to school with. Their parents are mostly Trump voters. I mean, that's just where I live.
Yeah.
So and that's why it's so funny to me that we get called like Nazi enablers for just talking to like Trump voters. Like people genuinely try to say that I'm like fascist and that I'm like a Nazi enabler. And because I talk to Trump voters and can like have like a civil conversation with them, it's not like I'm going to parties and hanging out, even though I could do that. I mean, I just don't really go to parties anymore, but I could do that. Like these are not horrible, evil people. They're people who are propagandized and they're just mad at the wrong people and the wrong things. That's all. And I'm like, it just really gets on my fucking nerves. A lot of this gets on my nerves because I do it to like Nico and Fiorella. How dare you? How dare you tell somebody who lives that every day who they can and can't talk to, who they can and can't organize with, who they can and can't find common ground with? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, if that's not something you can do personally, fine. That's cool. Not everybody's built the same. But to shit on the people willing to do that work and try to bridge that gap, fuck off. It's dumb.
While we're there, our good friend and colleague Robbie Yeager had a killer tweet out earlier.
Robbie's awesome. He's been on a roll for a while.
I don't know if you saw it or not. I'm gonna try and
probably. I mean,
pull it up.
Real quick, yeah, pull it up
because it's god damn it.
I threw
it's that good.
I threw the link in the group chat.
A lot of flipping messages. Where'd it go?
I love Robbie. He's great. Like, you guys still, if you can, push out that colonial pipeline thing. Reshare or retweet his articles. Yeah.
May 28th, they have to resubmit the numbers for the total amount spilled that they could find. What we've been saying now for some months, we could be seeing come to bear in that this will be, we've been saying it could be the biggest spill in U.S. history. We're going to find out at the end of the month.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
I know the progressive liberals and indie media and social media know about this story. Facts. How? Because Nico and Jimmy Dore covered it, who live in their head rent free. If your hate for us outweighs your obligation to cover, again, what is more than likely going to be the biggest gasoline spill in U.S. history, you're not a journalist.
No. Or an activist.
Nope. And that includes each and every little fucking shitbird at Sunrise Movements, national leadership, everyone who's fucking still
DSA.
sending them money, everyone who's still sending the DSA money, everyone who's still sending Naomi Klein money. I mean, what more could you ask for in terms of like making partisan political hay out of who is behind the fucking Colonial Pipeline, who those
shitty ass shape it's in? It's y'all. These pipes are like 40 plus years old. They're older than me. These pipes are older than me, and
the entire 5,500 mile pipeline.
It's ridiculous, and they only have to check it like I think it's like every 5 years or something like that. I wish Robbie would show up because we need to talk about this more. But yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. And where's AOC? Green New Deal? Where you at? Where you at, girl?
Dude, it's a Koch Industries owned pipeline.
Mm-hmm. Ed Markey's silent. Elizabeth Warren is silent. Bernie Sanders is silent. All these people. Rashida Tlaib's in Michigan. I'm sure she knows about Flint. She really not going to talk about what happens if this, and let's not say if, what happens when this happens in Standing Rock. That's a lot. That's the water source for a lot of people. Like in North Carolina, I mean, it sounds terrible to say this, but we got kind of lucky because it is threatening some water sources at this point, but it's not like a big deal. If this happens in Standing Rock, if this happens on Dapple, that's a lot of people's water source that is going to be trashed. And that will happen. If we don't change the regulations and, figure out how to keep these companies accountable and make sure that they're doing the work necessary to keep those things safe. I don't know why that's controversial. I don't know why a progressive or somebody who cares about the environment wouldn't be standing up for that. Why would you not be talking about that? This is and it's not even, like we just said, it's not even about the fact that it could potentially be the biggest spill in history, but it's also the fact that the pipes are over 40 years old. They only have to check it every 5 years. They don't keep adequate records. They've had to revise this spill like 4 different times. It went from like 60 some thousand to like 200 and some thousand to like 1.2 million or something. And they just keep having to change it. And then this last time they said that they didn't even know if they had the right instrumentation to be able to measure it at this point. And so they don't have a clue what the fuck they're doing in order to keep these things safe. They take shortcuts. They're only concerned about profit. They don't give a shit about you or the fact that that could affect your land. People are going to lose their houses. Do you really want a bunch of gas and oil in the ground? I don't. That doesn't sound like a good idea. So it's just really baffling to me that people won't cover this. And if you actually care about the environment, AOC, the queen of the Green New Deal, right? She's supposed to care about this shit. Why is she? Bill McKibben. I tweeted at Bill McKibben. I'm like, hey, dude, you should really talk about this thing. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed it with everything else going on. I was excited. I'm like, cool. This guy might actually talk about this thing. He apologized and I get it. There is a lot going on. He's absolutely right. It's up his alley. So that's weird, but okay, cool. And then he gave it 2 sentences in his next article. What the fuck, dude? This is supposed to be your thing. Where are you?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird. It really is, dude. And it's under the water table, according to the mayor of Huntersville. Under.
Mm-hmm. That's not good. And I don't get it.
Well, and I know why national media isn't picking it up, because really a gas spill in rural North Carolina isn't. That's not what they're going to cover. It's not.
It's not profitable.
They won't get
any.
Putin.
Yeah, right.
You can't
they
blame
could.
Iranian hackers.
Dude, did you hear Putin's taken over the internet? Putin has taken over the internet. And I'm just telling you guys, I don't know if you know, but I happen to be his buddy. Putin owns all the things. Putin controls all the things. You should just give up now. It's over. Putin owns you and your family and everything. So just accept it. Embrace the Putin. Really. It's
so can we talk about
it's so ridiculous.
Burmis showed me the Bidens and the Carters.
Such just a weird fucking picture.
Just for a minute.
It creeps me out, Steve. It really does weird me out. That's weird. That's weird. And first of all, I just want to say that I'm not even kidding you. My grandma, when I was growing up, had a window valance in her kitchen that looked just like Joe Biden's dress. I'm not kidding you. Like I'm not kidding. It's
oh my God.
I swear to God, it's the exact same thing.
No. Yeah. I've seen them.
Yes, my grandma had one in her house.
They're in like every fucking either kitchen or bathroom window in every country house in the Midwest.
Yes.
And that's a whole ass dress made out of them.
It really is. I swear to God, it's like the exact same print. It's the exact. I would bet money on it, actually. Seriously. I saw that and it was like.
Looks like a fucking Hummel.
Oh, that's a weird picture. It's a weird picture. First of all, I don't even know why, like, I don't forget like the weird angle, but why are they like kneeling down on the floor? Like, that's just weird. I don't know.
Like, and they're like, it's an optical illusion, and it's like, did you put Jimmy Carter through a shrink ray? Like, I understand that, older people can kind of, but is this like DARPA going, hey, do you remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Well, you see, we can do that now. And we've decided to take like the only living U.S. president that people for some inexplicable reason seem to think was nonviolent. And we're going to miniaturize him. They're going to make like little resin molds of shrunken Jimmy Carter and like bobblehead him out and fucking, but they'll be like life-sized.
I'm sure they already have bobbleheads. Yeah. I've seen them of like Bernie Sanders. I've seen a Hillary Clinton one. Elizabeth Warren had one, I think. Like, they made a bunch of them during the primaries. And
I'm saying, though, now you could make them life size of the Carters and you could still put them on your desk.
Real talk. You could probably make like a lamp, like a nice floor lamp, like just like, or like a side table lamp. That would be a good height for that.
I had a buddy who sold upon death, but sold his skin in advance to the American Tattoo Museum, with the exception of he was having his legs, like his leg skin, saved to be made into lampshades.
Nice.
And then the rest was going on the wall at the American Tattoo Museum.
Very interesting. When we went to Boston, actually, took like one of those ghost tour things, and there's actually a book in the Boston Library. I think maybe 2 books actually, made from human skin, that some guy made. Like, I don't know, had some issues, I guess, like way back in like the 1800s or whatever, which is creepy. But yeah, they used to make Necronomicon
shit.
Yeah.
Hell
those
yeah.
ghost tours are fun. Like, I don't really, the paranormal stuff is not, it was just because it's like historical. Those are like, they talk about a lot of the history. It's just in a different way. Those are fun, actually. And we had a really dope ass Irish tour guide. Like, she had this really thick, amazing Irish accent, and she was hilarious. I mean, cracked my shit up. Like there were no kids in our group, so she made my husband be like the little lantern boy, which made me laugh hysterically, and I loved her for it. So, because usually she gives them to kids, and she's like, I don't have any kids. She's like, here, you can be my lantern boy. And so, of course, that became his name. That was funny. Yeah, she was really cool. Oh, God. So, okay, I also wanted to bitch about, I also see that, like, I think that our stalkers are back.
In
yeah.
the chat?
Yeah, they are.
Like the little fucking G-Hive shitbirds or whatever they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have the chat up.
And they're regurgitating old insults, which is so boring. Like, get some new material, fam.
Bro.
Come on.
Sorry, I'm multitasking. I haven't been paying attention to the chat.
No, you're
it's all
fine.
good, but like
they don't
in the
bother
chat,
me.
all of the flavors in the world out there, and
they're
you
giving me
chose
views.
salty. Like the whole world of flavors out there. You don't have to just be salty. You don't. You don't.
You also don't have to be obsessed with some chick in
Ohio.
and follow me
Side
around.
of life, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, really, seriously, what are you doing right now? This is your life? You follow people around to troll them because you don't like them? Dude, I really do just feel bad for them. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I can't imagine being like, just being that sad that that's what you do. Oh, man, I would much rather focus on shit that I care about and that I want to accomplish, and following somebody around just to troll because I don't like them. Guess what? There are going to be a lot of people in the world you don't like. Get over yourself.
Ooh, and guess what,
Seriously.
bitches? Slow news day is going to be like everywhere soon.
Suck it.
Yeah. Except for the places that you go to stay in your confirmation bias bubble.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there because, I mean, we see what happens with you guys when you come looking for us.
I mean, thanks for the views, though, fam. I do appreciate it. You're just helping.
None of you have the balls to like debate or have somebody on a show, put it on camera, and broadcast it out there. Nobody has the fucking balls for that. Little fucking bitch-made pieces of shit who have to fucking hide behind fucking like. What G-Off's probably up to like 30 sock accounts now. I don't know.
Oh my God.
There's at least a half.
Dude, it's so painfully pathetic.
It's just so fucking. I don't know, dude. Why would you look at Sally Albright's business model and go, fuck yeah?
I'm sure I hope honestly, I hope the pay is worth it, man. I really do. Whatever you're getting paid, I hope it's worth it to be a scumbag and to harass
carry water for Kamala
and
Harris and Joe Biden.
Yeah. People who are trying to kill people, like they're literally killing people, and you're simping for them and shitting on activists who are trying to change things so that people don't have to suffer and die from lack of healthcare, or you need help. Like either you're just a psychopath too, and you're just trying to climb that ladder to reach their position because you don't have any ability for empathy or compassion, or you're just a scumbag and it's all about the money and you don't give a shit if you hurt people. So yeah, fuck off.
I think some of these little idiots like actually think they can fucking vote their way out of an oligarchy too.
Do you really think that they?
I think a couple of them actually do. I think some of the people that get like caught up into it and are like, it's their first day and they know that like the super progressives are always right and shit like that. Yeah, dude. I think
you're probably right.
Get like swept in real quick. It gets fucking super clicky. It's culty.
Okay. So yeah, like the G-Offs, I think he knows. Like I think he understands that this is all fucking like. There's no voting yourself out of this. Maybe he might be a little dumber than I'm giving him credit for. But I think a lot of people that get wrapped into his orbit, that like they feel like they're part of this team, like and like the G-Offs manipulate those people, take advantage of them, and like pull them into this ridiculous bullshit, and then they like just start fangirling. It's like a fan club for then G-Off. And I think that that's a lot of that. But yeah, I think that there are some people who are like puppets, and then there are some people who are puppet masters for sure in that crowd.
Well, and
for sure.
It's, you know, there's this like self-rewarding system of confirmation bias that people fucking enter into. They get like immediately into an echo chamber and everybody agrees with them. So they must be right too.
Yeah.
Because they're parroting all the right things. And if they ever entered into an honest conversation with anyone where they were forced to actually present an opinion that they didn't fucking copy and paste into their life,
And that's a great way to say it.
Nothing.
That's a great way to say it. Copy and paste, because it's like complete surface analysis, surface level thinking. They don't look past like just right here, and it's received opinions, and they just copy and paste from what they think is the acceptable thing, the acceptable opinion within their little sphere of influence, and they try to fit in and make sure that their friends all kind of have the same, and they shut themselves off. And then anything outside that, then you just must be a terrible person. And there's no nuance.
Constantly on guard of their own language and thoughts, and like never wanting to run afoul of whatever offensive buzzword somebody made up 2 days ago. It's like next sub label of what you have to be in order to have the right opinion and fucking be like the right kind of person. Fuck, it's so
vapid is a good word, I think.
Vapid. Yeah, vapid's excellent. It is. And fucking just myopic. The entire
this is where the
world
pity comes
isn't
from.
going to fucking see things your way if you're standing there telling them that you're not going to listen to a word they say until they have not only adopted 100% of your ideology and terminology, but have demonstrated that they can successfully use it for whatever length of time you deem fit. It's not how you change society, you dumb fuck.
Come on, Steve. Everybody knows that problems go away if you ignore them.
If you ignore them, and especially if you scream at people that you're not going to talk to them until they change everything about themselves. Here, go read theory and come back to me in 3 years.
And not only like I'm not even going to talk to you, but I'm going to demean you and berate you and talk down to you, insult you. Like, that's really helpful, y'all. Way to go.
I did follow you around for fucking days, weeks, months, or years, and then not even have the courage to address you.
Yeah. Like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you can't change things you won't even like acknowledge. And especially, we've talked about this before, but I'm going to fucking say it again. We talked about coming at Fee and Nico and telling them that they can't talk to certain people and they can't organize with certain people. I just need to talk to fellow white people here for a second. It's fine if you don't think that you're capable of going into white, maybe slightly racist, or maybe even like full on racist spaces and try to have conversations with people to change their level of propaganda. That's on us. That's our problem. That's a white people problem. Don't come to me and tell me that I can't attempt to enter those spaces with my privilege and try when possible to, and I'm not saying I do this all the time, but this is what I'm talking about. I talk to Trump supporters. People are like, oh, you're a Nazi. I talked to Magnus, a Boogaloo boy. Oh, he's a Nazi. So that means you're a Nazi. He's not a fucking Nazi. Like, these people like using the term Nazi and fascist in this flippant way that doesn't even almost explain. Y'all voted for a fascist. You voted for Joe Biden. You need to deal with yourself, because I think that this is projection from a lot of people because you feel bad about yourself. You voted for Joe Biden. He's a fucking fascist. You know it. And you feel bad about that, and you should, but don't project it onto me. That's not my problem. I didn't vote for a fascist. I never even considered it, homie. Not even once. So you don't get to come to me and talk to me about being a fascist just because I talk to people that I don't agree with. I can talk to whoever the fuck I want. Whoever I want. You don't get to tell me who I talk to. I'm a grown-ass woman. Thanks.
Bitch, I'm grown. Yeah.
I don't need a mom.
Fucking, I look, dude, the whole idea of like communism rooted in community.
That's not right, Steve.
Like, do you think that in your, utopic autonomous society that there won't be people who are born differently? Does the whole like the idea that there would be DSA progressives or fucking campus Marxists or fucking Twitter communists or whatever that fully believe the Myers-Briggs shit, that fully believe astrology, that fully believe tarot or what the fuck ever, would think that people would be uniform in thought in terms of their politics if only they read enough quotes by Lenin? Hook me up with your weed plug.
Right?
I want to
that's
be
not even
that high.
that's not even to mention the fact that they're completely ignoring the fact that those people have been bombarded with propaganda since birth, just like everybody else has. And they've just been propagandized by a different source and are mad at the wrong things. And that's all that is. And so not only are you like completely pretending that nobody else can exist with different thoughts, but you're not even allowing for the fact that these are not like, there are some people who are going to be completely set in their ways. 100%. You're not going to be able to reach them. They're going to be some unbelievably horrible, disgusting, racist pieces of shit. Absolutely. 100%. But not everybody is like that. And there are people who can be talked to. And there are people who can see differently. And there are people who, once you pull them off of Fox News's tit, they can actually think a little bit. And as a white person, I feel like it's my job, if I am able to do so, which I don't always have the patience for that. But if I'm able to have a calm and rational discussion with somebody who may hold some of those views, that's my job as an ally. How else are we supposed to do that? You just think that racists will go away if you like either A, ignore them, or B, just treat them like they're shitty ass people. And it's okay to think that too. Racists are kind of shitty ass people, but it's just ignorance. That's all it is. And they just have to be taught. They just have to learn. And it just pisses me off to no end when
so I'm gonna interrupt here for a second, because there are many ways to teach and learn, and the best ways that I've seen people get out of racism is to be thrown into experiences where they're forced to work with people they don't like. I mean, fuck, dude, really hard to find somebody who came out of the military racist against the types of people he sees in his own country. Really is. Is. I don't know too many racist vets. I know a few, but fewer than I knew when I was a kid. From like the Vietnam, like the people that were my dad's age, from like Vietnam generation, and even most of them were racist, because fucking being forced to, eat, work, sleep,
life or death,
fucking fight for the livelihoods of everyone around you. It kind of takes some of the racism out of you. But again, I mean, so to like the general fucking construction job, shit like that, fucking any sort of project where you have to work with people. Yes, you're going to be at cross fucking purposes with someone.
And Allie,
you're not
Allie's
going
in the
to
chat.
get along with everyone, but you don't fucking have to. Nobody's making you fucking kiss everyone you talk to. Nobody's making you
hang out. You don't have to go to the movies or dinner, or you don't have to vacation together. You just have to like be able to have a civil conversation and just walk past each other on the street, and not. Most people do that every fucking day. Like, y'all do that shit every day, but I'm the asshole because really. But Allie's in the chat and she has a good point. There are plenty of fucking racists on the left. Y'all don't ever call that shit out, ever.
Dude,
Y'all don't ever call that shit out.
My neighbor,
Not once. And a lot of the times, the people who are coming at us, calling us Nazis, are racist as fuck. And they put it on display. What's his name? Paul? That Paul guy? Racist as fuck. That Sally chick? Racist as fuck. Yes, I'm naming names. Fuck it. Sally, racist as fuck. Like, there are lots of them that are racist. None of their little tag-alongs call them out for that shit ever. Ever. But I talked to a Boogaloo boy and I'm a Nazi. Fuck off, scumbags. Sorry, I get a little pissy sometimes. Feels good to get it out though. Yeah, and Ali Magnus is cool. I mean, I'm skeptical of everybody for the most part, unless I know you for a long time. But he seems all right. Like he seems pretty genuine to me. I've hung out with him, and he's anti-imperialist. He's anti-war. He's anti-empire. He's anti-police brutality. He, goes to Black Lives Matter rallies and puts his body in between protesters and the cops. I mean, that you're gonna put your body in between the cops and my comrades? Cool with that, dude. Good on you. You know what I'm saying? Really? That's the kind of. I don't get it. What did he say ever that made you think he was a Nazi? It's ridiculous. Is he probably a libertarian a little bit? Maybe.
They just want to be in charge. They just want to run some shit.
They just want to feel smugly superior. They want to sit in their safe space and feel smugly superior to everybody else. That's their whole thing. It's the ultimate Karen.
It doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be just. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be from their team. Mm-hmm. Their team has to be in fucking control. And these are people who have largely never had any control. Don't know. It's like the people who are fucking advocating the most for like armed overthrow are the people who've never fucking held a gun, let alone shot one.
Right.
The people who are arguing that their way is the right way have more than likely never had the ability to test that.
No.
The people who are so convinced that only certain words should be said. Or only
these are people who don't do anything though. Yeah. They just want to police everybody else, but they don't actually do anything. Like what are they doing? Like I've never seen any of them like show what they're doing outside of trolling the shit out of people on Twitter.
Are you? I mean, if you're fucking
go feed some people. Go. You can make little care packages for homeless people. I do that sometimes. I like to carry around little bags of cat food in case you find some stray cats, because you guys know I love cats. I didn't used to, but I know I have a bunch, and so I love them. But yeah, carry around little bags of cat food. If you find some stray cats, feed them. They're hungry. There's lots of things you can be doing, and y'all want to shit on people who are actually doing that stuff. Like they're coming after Rome hardcore because of shit he said like 4 fucking years ago. Dude, what used to be a gangbanger.
Yo,
dude. I guarantee you the things that he said in those 2 videos, he made a video about this today. The things that he said in those 2 videos, that ain't shit compared to what he's done and what he said. He knows that. He's growing. He's changing. He's learning. And now look what he's doing. He's going out into different communities. He's feeding people. He's giving them clothes. He's making those little care packages with deodorant and Band-Aids. And
he's doing street epistemology in a fucking 100% relatable fashion to the people that
he just went out talking to people.
That's it. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing besides trolling him?
Just because you lack the courage of conviction, just because you have never had your own principles, you have only had someone else's, just because you are incapable of defending what it is you believe in because you don't know what you believe in, because what you believe in doesn't belong to you, doesn't mean that we don't.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not asking you to be. I'm not asking you to do what we do. I'm not. Lead
or shut the fuck up.
Do something. And here's the other thing, dude. Here's the best part of this. I don't want to be in your system.
No,
I don't. I'm
no desire.
Opting out right now in the process, fully opting out as much as humanly possible. I may, for like a year or 2, have to keep a bank account. Maybe
Probably.
It'll be 6 months, but like, we're building a community outside of this system. It doesn't have to operate the way that the system operates.
These people they don't have the ability, the creativity to think that there could be something else.
Well,
they think that this is just the way that it is, and we just have to conform. And I don't fucking think so. No.
They also don't believe the national security state exists. They also don't believe people like Klaus. When Klaus says the vaccine is the foundation of the false industrial evolution. They don't believe that shit. They don't believe that. They put it right out on the title of books and shit. The White House is a branch of the World Economic Forum. The White House has said as much. Look for Ali Alexandra's new report coming out, I don't know, soonish. I'm going to go with soonish. As opposed to laterish. We do run a really tight ship on Slow News Day. I don't know. I like really in terms of professionalism, punctuality, and preparedness. We tighter than a gnat's ass. Really, I mean, it's well-oiled machine.
But these people, like they've really just convinced themselves that people like Joe Biden are like that's like we should just accept that, like he should be president. And you know, these are people like they're still very much brainwashed. They just are not even almost capable of thinking outside of the box in any way. You know, they still think that the Democratic Party is manageable and salvageable and that they can reform it. And no, you can't. No, you can't. Stop playing. That's just dumb. That's just dumb. Yeah, I said it. It's dumb. That's just dumb. You cannot reform the Democratic Party. I mean, y'all have been trying for 5 years. They're worse now than ever. They are worse. They got worse. Y'all failed miserably. It was a nightmare. Shit show. Done. Failed.
I mean, I don't even know if it's worth it, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
I like your style.
But I mean, here's a video of world leaders, celebrities, and influencers right in the open talking about what they're doing to you. Oh, muted.
To build back better or whatever. You have a chance to reset the clock and build back better than before.
To build back better than before.
Remember the terrible damage of COVID as we try to build back from this global pandemic.
Joe Biden calls it build back better.
Build back better.
Building back better.
To do things differently. To build back better.
We're going to build it back better.
And build it back better.
It's my plan to build back better.
Start taking all the problems that have been created in education, mental health, and start to build back in a positive way.
I have launched a booklet called Build Back Better, written after coronavirus.
It's about building
a booklet.
Country back better.
A growing conspiracy following it. It is called the Great Reset.
An unprecedented opportunity to rethink and reset the ways in which we live.
The great opportunity for reset.
The theory even calls Mr. Biden's campaign slogan, Build Back Better, a front for the conspiracy.
Build back better.
Building back better our economy.
Build back better.
All elements of the Great Reset are fundamental to building the future we need.
This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset.
It's a big effort some would say to build back better. We would say to really have a great reset.
Hooray!
Lady made a booklet.
But
she launched a booklet. That's cute.
Klaus wrote a book called COVID-19 and the Great Reset. I mean, we have done an extensive dive into far too many of these World Economic Forum panels and have spent some exhaustive hours breaking down, national security on AI reports and exactly who is part of the National Security Council on Artificial Intelligence and where they came from. And dude, the money never leaves the fucking room.
Yo, that was global propaganda right there. That's what you just saw. It's global propaganda. I don't know how anybody could watch that. And that's not it. That's the message is unified. It is to deny the fact that there is and people I love it when people are like, oh my God, do you really think they actually get in rooms and plan? Yes. Absolutely, these people get in rooms and they plan things out. What do you think the board meeting of any Fortune 500 company is? What the fuck do you think that is? That's exactly what they're doing.
Okay, but the Great Reset video that they put out where they're like, the Great Reset? Well, that sounds like a conspiracy. But in fact, it's just a group of billionaires meeting in secret behind closed doors to plot the outcome of future events. Not a conspiracy at all.
And you're crazy if you think it is.
But you just said that that's the literal definition. You clever bastards.
I know. No, they're really good.
And the way that they got these fucking little cunts like Walker Bragman doing their fucking propaganda for him. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I promised myself that I would limit this. And so I'm going to, and I'm not going to mention that little fucking shitheel's name again, but the lengths that these people are going to run narrative management for big pharma, for big tech, for Palantir, for Black Cube, for the people who brought you fucking predictive policing to ICE. Remember ICE? You used to give a fuck about who they were when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez needed fucking campaign funds. Remember that?
I do. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah. Dude. I hope that those people...
That's violence for bringing up facts.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so violent, dude. The most violent ever. I'm a hot mess of violence over here.
How many times was fucking AOC murdered this year? How many times? It was at least 2 or 3, I think.
Oh, I was gonna say 7. It feels like I think she died 7 times in the week of the insurrection.
AOC is turning into Rasputin. That's what's happening. I don't know if you guys know the story of Rasputin or not. But Rasputin, I need to pull this up.
I know it, but I'm just a little high.
Assassination attempts on Rasputin.
Okay, so Mark is in the chat and he said he's all about some Walker Bragman hate. Listen, I used to really like Walker Bragman. I actually worked with him kind of on the Opti Sanitize Twitter thing a couple years ago. We chatted back and forth, we tried to organize it. There was a couple other, some other people, but we really tried to make a big push for coverage for Yemen. And I really liked him, but it's one thing for you to, you can think whatever you want to think about COVID. I have never given anybody shit, or if you're scared of it, 100%. I get it. The fear mongering is real. So I've never been harsh with anybody for anything that they believe on COVID ever. And so whatever he wants to think is fine. But then to publicly bully and try to shame people who are questioning the government and big pharma. Really? even if you think that big pharma and the government is telling you the truth and all of that stuff, you should be mad at the government and big pharma for creating an environment that has created that level of distrust in the first place. It's not on the people. They're the ones who have lied to us over and over and over and over continuously. And it's not like we don't have we have evidence for this. This isn't like bullshit made up conspiracy theory. No, we know that they have 100% lied for profit, for power, for all of that stuff. So
I don't want people to not have vaccines if they think that that's going to help them. What I want is informed consent. Yes. What I want is the same level of skepticism that you give the police for having qualified immunity when the fucking vax courts exist. When fucking qualified immunity to agree that we have never seen a fucking corporation get in the history of always was legislated into the CARES Act. That to me says, wait, what?
That should concern everybody. That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? Why would you want them to have that level of power and control and anonymity?
And then we find out that like the reason Derek Bros got kicked off of YouTube was because he did an exhaustive investigative series on medical wearables. Diagnostic devices that you would put both on and in you for fucking telehealth, to make telehealth easier, to make self-administering your medicine easier, to cut, Derek does a deep dive on this. It's a lot of alliteration, and I apologize. And he gets thrown off of YouTube. Fast forward 10 months, it's breaking news on CNN.
Yeah.
So it's conspiracy until it's breaking news.
Well, it's conspiracy until they figure out the propaganda that will make you okay with it, until they've manufactured enough consent to make you think that this is a thing that you want and that you need and that it's fine and that this is totally okay and it's safe. And I mean, they don't ever just drop something on you. They slow roll everything. They've been doing it with Julian Assange and the First Amendment.
Emergency authorization for, which now that's the only thing that's required for war. For approval of experimental drugs, for the Patriot Act, for the creation of 3-letter agencies that were only supposed to have an existence of anywhere from 12 to 36 months, at which point they would be dissolved, not reviewed and continued.
And these are agencies that we have no oversight of. We have no idea what they're doing. We can't even get an audit on the Department of Defense. You can't even get an audit. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you have any idea how much money they waste? We can't. The people that we pay for that shit, we can't get an audit. No, like what the FBI and CIA and NSA.
It was September 10th.
Huh?
The last time we tried for a legit audit of the Pentagon was September 10th. 2001.
Yeah. Good timing, right?
Hey, wait a minute. Seems like the next day the world changed and then we had fucking fascism nonstop from here on. And an era where, the voting machines have proprietary software. Like right now, Pasta and Fear are in Arizona trying to, report on what's going on down there. And here's the thing, dude. If the feds don't step in and interrupt the audit, then people like Dave Weigel have been spending the entire week and the entire weekend and leading up to this running around screaming about how the Republicans think there's 200,000 fucking illegal ballots cast in Arizona. No, nobody ever said that. Nobody ever said that. That was the highest allegation I saw was some lady on Fox said like 100,000 ballots in Arizona. Dave Weigel has doubled that. Nobody else has said 100,000 ballots, but no matter what, as long as there aren't 200,000 illegally cast ballots in Arizona, conspiracy.
Yeah.
Fucking bark it up the wrong tree, free and fairest election ever, even if it's
Oh my God.
198,000. Even if it's 198,000.
The fact that people are saying that this election,
people, they were questioning like 52,000 total fucking ballots in the state. But I mean, this is just the links that people are going to obfuscate here to drive home the point that Time Magazine was right. Our elections were safeguarded and secured.
it's so fucking, anybody that says that, you are fucking ridiculous. If the election happened in the United States of America, it was not a fair election. Ever. First of all, we know that the primary wasn't fair. So it's not a fair election. Boom, right out the gate. Because the guy that got the nomination shouldn't have got the nomination. I think by any objective, like anybody who's just looking at it objectively. I mean, Super Tuesday alone and Barack Obama making a phone call and then basically admitting it in public. I'm pretty sure that we can say that the primary was fucked with. And not like Bernie didn't help by taking a dive, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, the elections in this country are never fair. They're never fair, ever. We do not have fair elections, ever, period. I don't know why anybody is trying to pretend like that's a conspiracy theory. I mean, hello, have you seen our record? We are consistently ranked like dead last among modern democracies for our elections, for election integrity. Consistently dead last or very near the bottom.
Oh, hey,
But
can we
really-
talk about some rankings here real quick?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, okay.
Like-
Yeah, because that'll give me a chance to bitch about the Reporters Without Borders guy.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, okay, because I'm into that.
So
That guy needs to answer me.
we talked about this a little while ago, but Reporters Without Borders is upgraded. Misty, I'm hearing bad mic echo.
It happens sometimes, dude. I'm trying to get it fixed.
Reporters Without Borders upgraded both the US and the UK in their World Press Freedom Index for you know the last however many months, because it couldn't have been 2020. You know, it couldn't have. In fact, they had pointed to all of the violent incidents surrounding journalists from the George Floyd protests going forward as to why the US had been downgraded the last time they came out with this. They have since been upgraded. And the only fathomable reason I can think of is that there weren't enough protests to where the police could beat more journalists. And that's it. The lack of violent incidents upgraded the US. Not that anything happened or changed to protect press freedom. We still have Julian Assange locked up. Like Daniel Hale right now.
We talked about that.
Okay, cool. So I mean, there's a whistleblower who exposed a fucking assassination program. Those aren't supposed to be legal, friends and neighbors.
They had fucking baseball cards, y'all. Baseball cards. Who are we gonna kill today?
And so, I mean, the only other thing that could have happened to allow for this upgrade has posted pictures of very, very, very beautiful clothes. Very, very, very well appointed places by very, very well appointed people. And if that's what you're thinking, I mean, fuck you.
Seriously.
Oh.
Seriously, dude. Oh, and then the guy from Reporters Without Borders. So he tweets out, he met with, was it was it Anthony Blinken? Anthony, I keep calling him Anthony and it drives me crazy.
Costa calls him Anthony, but I think it's Tony Blinken. I always think of the character on Robin Hood Men in Tights that was Carrie L's butler, Blinken, because he was the blind guy.
Yeah, it's Anthony. I just looked up his Twitter. So the guy from Reporters Without Borders tweeted out that he went and met, I think, with Anthony Blinken, to talk about press freedom on World Press Freedom Day. And so Glory Jones, who is amazing, got on Twitter, and I can't even tell you, y'all. She trolled, I don't even know if it's trolled, spammed, maybe, the shit out of him, asking him if he spoke for Assange, or if he asked about Julian Assange while he was talking to him. And he has not responded. I then started tweeting at him. We're trying to get an answer. I would like to know if he asked about Julian Assange. Because I can't imagine being from Reporters Without Borders and not asking about Julian Assange.
Oh, there were a couple other groups in there too that Glory said out loud when we were bullshitting on a call this morning. And I can't fucking remember off the top of my head what other press freedom group.
I wish I could remember that guy's name because I can't.
Christoph.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I was gonna look him up.
We'll just go to Glory's timeline.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I just didn't know if it would be hard to find.
It's like finals week for Glory, and then she's gonna be traveling, and she's fucking her schedule's like just wrecked, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't talked to her in ages.
Time she's
ages.
Which is good, Glory Jones. You shouldn't be fucking around on Twitter during finals week anyway.
Okay, Dad.
Young lady.
Okay, Dad. Okay, here it is. I found it.
Spin it. Hold on later. Christoph Delon.
Here he is. Okay, so today I had the honor and privilege of meeting Secretary Blinken to discuss Reporters Without Borders International Global Press Freedom Priorities. We had a meaningful conversation about how to make progress, especially in countries with the worst press freedom records. So, yeah, and then he goes on to, blow some smoke about some other dumb shit. And then here's Glory Jones. You ready? Glory Jones, Glory Jones, Glory Jones, Glory Jones, Glory Jones. Hey, there's me, Glory Jones. She went after this guy, trying to get his attention.
Times, or rounded it out to 100 comments.
Yeah. So I love it. That's great. He needs to. I want to know. And if he didn't talk to him about Julian Assange, I want to know why not. Because I don't know any other thing that is happening right now that has more of an impact on global press freedom than Julian Assange. There is nothing else. Period. End of story. Yes, you can talk about Saudi Arabia. You can talk about Azerbaijan and how terrible they are, their journalists. Great. Cool. Excellent. You do that, homie. But you need to ask about Julian Assange. There is nothing else that even comes close to being more important to global press freedom than Julian Assange. Period.
And
I mean, have to say that.
We have the perfect example of why. I'm gonna pull it up here. Right, meow. This is why. This is what happens when you try to play a human rights card or a holier than thou card on a despot.
Oh, I know what you're pulling.
When it's
yes,
that has press freedom locked up. Let's just
and listen. This guy's a scumbag, but what he's about to say is fucking awesome.
Well, yeah, and to not like.
Because there have been no restrictions.
He's a fucking
and
brutal
the number of
fucking murderer.
Users in Azerbaijan is more than 80%. Can you imagine the restriction of media in a country where internet is free, there is no censorship, and there are 80% of internet users? We have millions of people on Facebook. How can you say that we don't have free media? This is, again, a biased approach. This is an attempt to create a perception in Western audience about Azerbaijan. We have opposition, we have NGOs, we have free political activity, we have free media, we have freedom of speech. But if you raise this question, can I ask you also one? How do you assess what happened to Mr. Assange? Is it a reflection of free media in your country?
We're not here to discuss
No,
my
let's
country.
discuss.
No,
Let's discuss.
no, President
In order
Aliyev.
to accuse me, saying that Armenians will not have free media here, let's talk about Assange. How many years he spent in Ecuadorian embassy, and for what? And where is he now? For journalistic activity. You kept that person hostage, actually killing him morally and physically. You did it, not us, and now he's in prison. So you have no moral right to talk about free media when you do these things.
Returning to the conflict.
Better return to the conflict, because this is not what you like. You like only to accuse, only to attack. But look at the mirror. Look, I tell many times, before coming and lecturing us, and in your question, accusing me, it's not a question, it's accusation. You talk like a prosecutor. Why? If you're so democratic and so objective, why you keep Assange in prison? For what? You keep him in prison because of his journalistic activity.
I'm not keeping him in prison, President Aliyev. But
you don't like this.
It's not a question of don't like.
You are not used to this.
It's not the
because
subject
you are
of our
used
interview.
Only to attack.
It's not the subject of our interview. And with respect,
No,
President
it is not
Aliyev,
the subject of interview, but you raise it.
You raised it.
No, you raised it.
You raised the case
you
of
said
Assange.
Armenians, if you,
He's
you don't
nailing
have a free
her.
media in your country.
Yeah,
He
dude, I
nailed
hate
her
that. I
over and
okay, I
over
hate
and
that
over.
piece of shit is so fucking right. Do you know how much that sucks? Do you know what that feels like? That feels like somebody who sat and watched 4 fucking years of Donald Trump and the Democrats and had to go, oh God.
Yeah.
Damn it. Can't believe I'm about to fucking say this.
He's fucking right. He's 100% right. And anybody in the UK, in the US, in Australia, anybody who's trying to play like you have some moral superiority over these countries, clean your own fucking house. Are you kidding me? You're torturing a journalist to death for the crime of journalism. He did nothing outside of ordinary journalism. Journalists do the things that he did every single day. Every day, journalists are doing the exact same things that Julian Assange is being persecuted for. Clean your own fucking house. You have no democracy. You have no free speech. You don't have press freedom. You have nothing. They've taken it all away. No, worse, you've handed it over by your complicity, by your silence, by not paying attention and just not care. Some of you are cheering it the fuck on. What the hell is happening? Some of you are cheering it on. Some of you are happy that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is sending out a mass email asking people to go snitch on Twitter and get people shut down and deplatformed. Are you fucking kidding me? And I don't want to hear any more about the private company. I really don't. I've already said this. I don't want to hear about it. They are way too entrenched in our government to be considered private companies anymore.
They are the government.
They are
They're
the
the
government.
fucking government.
They are the fucking government.
They
and that, you
provide
know,
the
I'm done.
framework for world governments to communicate with each other.
And any rational person knows that that's true. Don't try to pretend like it's, oh, no, our Joe Biden isn't owned by Google. And yes, he fucking is. Yes, he is. They're all owned by these people. They are the government. Like, these are the upper echelon of society. They are taking, like, they have all the power, all the control, all the money, and they're the ones making all the decisions. And they are the government, period.
If Joe Biden said something untoward, he would be banned from Twitter and Facebook right now. Right now. Because they can do that because they've done that.
The fact
and
that
then upheld their decision.
They took the president of the United States and wiped him completely off. I mean, I know we already talked about this.
And this is the crazy part, not because he incited violence, but because he said, knock it the fuck off. You're making us look bad here. And
That's
they're
so
like,
violent.
holy fuck, people can't see that.
That's
We got a fucking domestic terrorist narrative to run with. We have to do that.
Obviously.
They killed a cop with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's not true. You got lied to.
And the cop was actually he wasn't murdered, but there are people still running with this narrative right fucking now. Right now.
Do you see? That's how propaganda works. That story right there. That's how it works. They lie to you first, and they lie really loud. And then when they have to retract that and tell you the actual truth, it's in a whisper. And you don't get to know the actual truth, because once they say the lie, that's what most people hear. And then people just stop paying attention. They think that they know what happened, and they don't have to know the rest of the story, because that's it. That's it. But they come back out with the retraction. It's like when we used to have newspapers, we don't anymore. But when we used to have newspapers, headlines were always on the front page. Retractions were on like page 6. That's how it works. That's how propaganda works. It's very, very effective, because they either do it that way, or they just continue the lie. And there will be some people who will continue the lie, even on mainstream media, despite the fact that it's been debunked, just like Russiagate. There's another good example of how propaganda works. They just say it over and they just say it really loud. And if they repeat it, then it's true. And you just have to believe it then. They wouldn't lie to you. I mean, they've never done that before. It's fine, right?
I mean, look, in terms of where we're going, in terms of where we're headed, Sleepy Josh brought this to my attention earlier. Wonderful article out of Axios magazine, which is like for the sublimely intellectual shitlib. They do, like, they employ just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, my bad for the source. It was on my nerd news site.
No, man, you're fine.
Your nerd news site.
So
it's like
White
literally
House
like a nerd news site.
White House is launching. Misty, could you please move your microphone back a little bit?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, their AI website. So AI.gov to make artificial intelligence research more accessible across the nation. The U.S. once led significantly in the global artificial intelligence race, but now risks being overtaken by China. This is one step the White House is taking to drum up excitement for AI and broaden educational opportunities in the field. This is true, by the way. They're recruiting in fucking junior high right now. Websites target audience, the general public, purpose to make public information available on AI more visible to someone like a teacher or student. As I'm saying, recruiting in junior high. Which, it's cool, but also not, because we have this thing called the National Security Council on Artificial Intelligence. Neat. So we'll get into OpenAI on a different show, but here's what is just wonderful about this. William Hurt of Texas is joining the board of OpenAI, artificial intelligence research lab that counted Elon Musk as a co-founder. Here's why it matters to Axios. Hurt is a former undercover CIA operative who's long focused on artificial intelligence issues in and out of Congress. He's been widely quoted since leaving Congress for his moderate perspectives and criticism of former President Trump. Misty?
Sorry, I was trying to look something up and my computer was being really stupid.
Okay, well, I'm going to pull up something else too in a second, which is, that National Security Council on Artificial Intelligence, just so you can see like the similarities in language, right? So the final report presents the NSA's strategy for winning the artificial intelligence era. That's not winning the race for AI. That's the entire era dominated by AI. They want to win the era. the whole
Lofty goals.
era.
Dream big, homies.
I mean, this thing, we're not even all the way through it on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, but the blueprints for action, pretty frightening. Oh yeah, that was fun. AI in the future of national intelligence. And I think maybe. Okay. State and non-state adversaries are challenging the United States below the threshold of direct military confrontation by using cyber attacks, espionage, psychological and political warfare, and financial instruments. Adversaries do not need AI to conduct widespread cyber attacks, exfiltrate troves of sensitive data about American citizens, interfere with our elections, or bombard us with malign information on digital platforms. They don't. But let's face it, the United States government has a fucking corner on that market.
Yes.
However, AI is starting to change these attacks in kind and degree. 5 AI-related threats have already been or soon will be developed and used against the United States. See that language? Have already been or soon will be. 5. You know, tell you which. But, I mean, this is the language when they go through here and in their executive summary.
Oh, we lost.
I think you hit the wrong button.
What a dork.
I'm sure he'll be back.
That's funny. He's probably just high. It's fine. It's fine, guys. Don't worry about it. We're doing it live.
That ain't a bad
there
idea.
he is. You hit the wrong button, didn't you?
I was trying to...
Called it.
I fucked up.
I called it.
I fucked up.
Sorry, dude. It's something I would do.
Whatever.
It's
I
totally
mean, like,
something
but
I
the
would do.
language is it's the same sort of paranoia that you can read from like the height of the McCarthy era.
Yeah.
It's the same paranoia that you can read or watch clips of from right after 9/11, from right when they were trying to push through the Patriot Act. Like,
Yeah.
it's the exact same language. It's the exact same energy. And in the case with the Patriot Act and all of the agencies that were created by emergency authorization,
Yeah.
afterwards, a lot of the players are still involved with this.
Yeah, they all got their jobs back. Like, that's what I find frustrating is it's not like we don't see that the corruption just recycles itself. It's the same fucking people. It's been there for decades. It's the same exact people and their friends. I mean, they're all in part, like they're all part of this like psycho club where they all hang out, and but it is the exact same people. And it's terrifying that those people who have done these terrible things are able to then, they should be in jail, not in positions of power again. They failed epically. Why are they given positions of power again? Like Susan Rice, what the fuck is she doing anywhere near a position of power? What the fuck is happening? Joe Biden, what the fuck is happening? That dude was able to win the fucking presidency. Well, first of all, because our elections are fucked up. Second of all,
safeguarded.
Oh, I don't want to be in their club. It's okay. But okay, so when we were talking about Press Freedom Day, I forgot about this, and I need to talk about it before we because I'm sure Sleepy wants to wrap here pretty soon. But hold on, let me see. Okay, so Kevin Gastola tweeted this out. This is how the Biden administration celebrated Press Freedom Day. Okay. The Biden-Harris administration is committed to putting human rights back at the heart of our foreign policy. That includes press freedom. People everywhere should be free to express their beliefs, hold opinions without interference, to seek, receive, and share information and ideas. It's even written into the Universal Declaration of Human Rights because being free to think and speak is central to what it means to be human. We see a free press as vital for human progress. When you harm journalists, you threaten that progress. That's one reason we announced the Khashoggi ban in February. We will impose visa restrictions on people who, acting on behalf of a foreign government, engage in activities including suppressing, harassing, surveilling, threatening, or harming journalists or their families. I would like to know when this applies to Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Boris Johnson, whoever the fuck the Australian Prime Minister is. I can't think of their name. is it Maurice Payne?
Scott Morrison.
Scott Morrison, thank you. I sometimes get my Australian politicians.
Nigel shags himself.
It's probably all right. Yeah. But when does that apply to them? When does that apply to them? Okay, and we don't even have to talk about Julian Assange specifically. It'd be cool if we did, because I would like to talk about that all the time. But look what's happening to journalists at protests, just regular ass protests. Like just getting beat up.
Pasta and Fee got their windows smashed in tear gassed.
Yeah,
for showing up to cover a protest. Showing up, hadn't even got out of the fucking van yet.
Yeah, and what do we need to say the statement again? Really, that's what they're doing. They're going to ban people who are acting on the part. How about our government harming our journalists? How about that? Where's the punishment for that?
And by the way, dude, for the people that give Convo Couch shit, did your favorite content creator get their fucking van bashed in by the cops when they went up to go cover the fucking protest?
Studios. That's silly. Don't be silly, Steve. That's ridiculous. They like their cushy chair.
Can your favorite rapper do that? No. No, your favorite rapper can't do that. Your favorite rapper doesn't do that. Your favorite rapper doesn't know how to do that.
And you don't have to like Convo Couch. I mean, listen, not every news channel is for everybody. Not every personality is for everybody. I'm not for everybody. That's fine.
Real talk. I just started being able to watch the Convo Couch again about a year and a half ago. Because when 2.5 years ago, they weren't where they are now in their political evolution, and their evolution of thought, and their evolution of experience, and their evolution of developing their life, and gaining a worldview again that belongs to them, that doesn't belong to what's popular, that doesn't belong to what is the prevailing narrative, but and that's what these people hate so fucking much. Is that not only do we have the courage of our convictions, but they're demonstrated every time we go into action again and again and again. And man, even though I wasn't digging where their vibe was politically, respected the hell out of the fact that they were on the fucking ground everywhere. And was still fucking with Nico the whole time. People fucking hate Nico, dude. When I had 280 subscribers on Slow News Day, he's like,
dude, I get
I'm gonna bring you on, dude.
Yes.
You got some shit that I, and then started covering the stuff that we were talking about, working it in here and there. And then the minute fucking the election bullshit, or at least the minute that fucking Tulsi dropped out and fucking Nico had to come to terms with the fact that maybe he actually fucking believed a politician for a minute, and whoops. As soon as that happened, then everything that a bunch of us had been begging for people with larger platforms to cover, he covered. And he also fucking knew the hit that his channel was going to get by hosting the fucking Assange vigil on it.
Did it anyway.
Did it immediately.
Happily. Didn't even think about it. That's I get it. He's a strong personality. I get that.
But
and
he is
not
constantly reaching down.
But yes, he is 100% the most generous he has a big platform. He has no need for helping Steve out with his show or helping me out with my little shows. Or he came on my show when I had 300 subscribers. I mean, he doesn't have an ego about that stuff. He does have an ego, and he'll tell you that. He will tell you that. But he's very genuinely down to earth for the most part. He's like this great mix of confidence, but also he's very like humble, and he uses his platform to help other people. And he's always been like that. Like I said, like he came on my show. I had like 3 or 4. I was like nobody. I'm still nobody. You know what I mean? But he's always just treated me like I'm just a person. Like I'm
a human being with a fucking.
Most people with big platforms don't do that. Like I know Sam from News Dive. Sam from News Dive told me one time that he disagrees with Nico. Like, you know, there's a lot of things that he disagrees with Nico on. But when Sam just got out of journalism school, he's trying really hard to be like an independent journalist, like really try to like dig in and be like an investigative independent journalist. Yeah. And he reached out to a bunch of people with bigger platforms just to like talk, get advice, whatever. Nico's the only person that responded to him. The only one. That's the kind of person Nico is. So you don't have to like him. I get it. Like I said, he is a big personality, and that's okay. But again, to trash him
again,
silly.
Half the time I'm on the phone with that dude. Fucking son of a bitch, talking to you like that. I love you too. Jesus, you know, and I mean, but. Yeah. That's how fucking friendships work. I don't know if y'all fucking forgot that bit. You're allowed to fucking disagree with the people that you work with the people that you love, with the people that you don't love. You're allowed to agree and disagree with people for varying reasons at any point in time, any day of the fucking week. End of story. It's okay.
Or you can live in your safe space. And eventually it's just going to be you like talking to yourself because you've alienated yourself from everybody that you disagree with on something.
What it is, Mindy Moneybags. They hate us for our freedom.
They do hate us for our freedom.
They hate us for our freedom.
They do. We have all the freedom. Mindy Moneybags is by far like my favorite nickname that I've ever had, I think, in my life. And I've had a lot of nicknames.
I guess I'm good at that shit.
Yeah. It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. That was a funny tweet. That was a funny thread. The whole thread was funny. My stalkers are fun, you guys.
Moneybags.
So fun. I still need a professor nickname. Remember somebody? I don't remember what that was about. I think somebody just said I don't know. I don't even fucking remember. But that was funny too. I'm called a lot of things.
Professor McGiveafuck? I don't know. No, we'll work on that. We'll work.
Yeah. After something will come up eventually. But we should probably wrap. We've been going for a couple hours. I'm sure Sleepy wants to eat or nap.
Nah, no naps tonight. I gotta eat though. I gotta order food.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I have a fucking meeting at 2:00 this morning.
And we need to chat about the 8th because I'm gonna help out with Deepa. So since we're talking about it, before we wrap up real quick, May. I keep saying March, and so May 8th, this Saturday. There is a kick-ass event going on.
I'm gonna pull up the thing.
Yeah, pull up the thing. It's called the Whistleblower Fest or Whistleblowing Fest, I think.
The International Festival of
there we
Whistleblowing, Dissent, and Accountability.
And it's gonna be awesome. Check out, scroll down. Is that the website? Yeah, scroll down, show them the list of participants because it's like a
whistleblowingfest.org will take you there. Whistleblowingfest.org.
You can find I think the schedule's up now. Deepa said I'm gonna make one that's shows Eastern and Pacific times because they only have it in UK time right now and Europe time, I think. But yeah, seriously, some of the coolest people are participating in this event. People like Jonathan Cook, Max Blumenthal, Claire Daly, George Galloway. What?
Bean.
Somerset Bean did some art. Like that's really cool. And also we need to talk about billboards too. So don't let me forget. Real quick. So yeah, Daniel Ellsberg is going to be there. Andrew Fowler. I'm sure I'm forgetting a ton of really cool people. Deepa is going to be on one of the panels. Kathy Vogan made a 20-minute video on how to be a citizen journalist. There's going to be different panels. There's going to be different recorded segments, different recorded movies, or like how-to videos or interviews. I think Craig Murray's going to have a recorded interview because, like we said earlier, he has court on Friday, and so he may be in jail on Saturday.
Yeah,
that could be bad. Let's hope not. Ray McGovern's going to be there. Craig Murray, I think I've already said. Lowry Love, David McBride, Peter Oborn, Juan Passarelli, just like a who's who of cool people in the journalism, whistleblowing, activist space.
Nils Melzer, Stefania Maruzzi's Italian
who's
journalism.
a badass.
Andy Worthington
she's a badass.
from the Guantanamo Project.
Like just a ton of really cool people. It's going on. It's like a 30-hour straight event. So
there
check out
will
the
also
schedule.
be a very funny sounding hacktivist named John Doe.
Oh, okay, cool. And Jeremy Hammond's going to speak publicly for the first time since he got out of the halfway house.
So check this shit out. So
yeah, check it out. Definitely check it out. Please check it out. Support
so
DIPA,
here's the thing with Jeremy
event.
Hammond though, because he's on pretty fucking strict parole.
Yeah.
For the better part of 3 years now. And so he had to obtain special permission. The way that Deepa was saying it, like, made it sound like there's going to be like 2 FBI agents and 2 cops, and like one of them's going to use their phone, and like that's how it's going to fucking work. And then that he goes back because he legit is not allowed to be around everyone on that list and everyone involved on the back end.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Like conditional to the parole. So this is fucking cool.
It is really cool, and it's a great event. There are so many great panels, and there are a bunch of artists and musicians that are involved, and it's going to be awesome. Again, it's going to be like 30 hours long, but there will be obviously like clips or like, of each individual panel and of each individual performance. There's also going to be like a lobby area where you can go and like just chat with other people who are chilling and watching, and you can just have conversations with people. So it's going to be super dope. So definitely make sure you check it out. I'm going to try to get the schedule. As soon as Deepa has one finalized, I'm going to, because I didn't want to put any extra work on her. So I volunteered to like make it in Eastern time and Pacific time so we could have it for dumb Americans because time conversion hurts my brain. So I'm sure it does other people. So yeah, that'll be coming out soon, I'm sure, but definitely check it out. I think it starts at like 3 a.m. Saturday Eastern, something crazy like that, but it's going all day into Sunday. It's like, I think it's 30 hours long so far. And it's going to be awesome. And then also a quick Billboard update. I played phone tag with the chick at the Billboard place today. She actually called me while I was interviewing Deepa.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm like interviewing Deepa and my phone's ringing and I know it's the lady. And then by the time I called back, it was after 5 and I assumed she had gone home. So I left her a message. Hopefully we'll talking to her. I just need to get the specs. Once I get the specs I just need, finalize our location and get the specs of the billboard, and then Bean can make the image that I want. And then after that, we just pay for it and it's done. It's up. I think that the GoFundMe stuff, last time I updated everybody, they were like doing some like secondary check of my information. I don't know what the fuck that means, but that's what they said. But I think that went through because I got an email saying that they were going to be sending like $3,642, I think is what it is with like minus the fee. Whatever they take out of it. So yeah, I just have to finalize location, get the specs for Bean. Bean makes the image. We pay for it, and then it'll go up pretty soon, depending on the location, because it just depends on who. Oh, hi, Kitty. It just depends on the billboard that's there currently, how long they have left in their, because it's like monthly. Some of them have like every 3 months, whatever. I'm sure I'm boring people. So yeah, that's the update on billboards. Just playing phone tag with the chick at the Billboard place. And I cannot wait to get it up. There's going to be lots of selfies. It's exciting. And again, if you know of any location that would be good for a billboard, let me know, because I can't check out all locations. I'm thinking I might look into like the Cleveland or Cincinnati area, or maybe even Indianapolis, because I think it would play pretty well in Indianapolis too. I'm just not as familiar with those areas. So like, I know living in Columbus that 270 is a great location, or even 70, but 270 is probably better. So yeah, I just need to figure out where we're going next. We already have, we're already like halfway into a second billboard, which is amazing.
Hell yeah.
So I need to like work faster, but yeah, it's,
I tried to get a hold of you about that. I was trying to help. Like,
I know my life's been kind of crazy right now because it's like end of school year, and you know how it is, dude. And I really didn't need another project. I know I say that all the time, but I really didn't. And
I didn't need to. Well, I did need to move, but I didn't need to move for the second time in 2 months. But I'm getting ready to do that again too.
I feel you, dude. Life happens sometimes, and I honestly,
but I get it. It's a good move.
Yeah, I honestly
usually don't have those.
I didn't know it was going to happen this fast. I know I've said that before, but I was shocked at how fast it happened. I really thought I was going to have a couple weeks before we could even get one, and it was days. So that's my bad. I should have, I guess, been more prepared. I should have known how awesome you guys were going to be, but I was a little off balance on that. I was a little taken aback. So, which is great. Keep that shit coming. So yeah, donate to that. Donate to Craig Murray. I think that's the only people I was talking about donating to tonight. I don't remember. Anyways, Sleepy Josh. Go to Sleepy Josh's Twitter page. It's at abortu, ABORTU, and he has a buy me a coffee link on there. And so hook Sleepy Josh up, because he's the best tech ninja ever, and I could not do this show without him. So y'all see how bad my internet is.
That song.
Yeah, couldn't do it without him. So definitely throw Sleepy Josh some coffee money because he needs it. And then I guess we'll just see you next Wednesday. Thanks everybody for showing up. And yeah, see you next week. Bye guys.